Happy Tuesday! My name's Nick.
And my name is Alan.
And welcome into the dungeon. Today, we're delving into Justin DeWitt's Castle Panic, a game where we're basically the last hope for our castle, an ultimate showdown between an endless horde of monsters that make the Battle of Helm's Deep look like a light warm-up. So here's the deal. We've got a castle sitting in the middle of the board, surrounded by forests filled with orcs, trolls, and goblins that all woke up this morning and chose violence. It's a bit like Lord of the Rings, except there's no Gandalf coming to save us at dawn. Just the two of us stand at the castle's defense, praying that we don't watch our walls come crashing down faster than the reputation of House Targaryen.
Each turn, we're drawing cards, slinging arrows and trying to take out monsters before they start pounding on our walls like it's our Walking Dead season finale and the zombies just found the weakest link in our defenses. The goal? To keep at least one tower from our castle standing. Sounds simple, right? Well, not when everything's burning down around us faster than King's Landing. The monsters just keep coming, and our chances of a survival are about as good as trying to sneak into the Death Star without a decent distraction. So, can we hold off the horde and save the day, or will we end up surrounded by the ruins of our shattered castle? Time to roll up our sleeves, sharpen our swords, and see if we can survive the Castle Panic.
Castle Panic is a cooperative game with a twist. We'll be working together rather than competing against each other. And we get to use cards to hit and slay monsters as they advance from the forest towards the castle. We get to trade cards and plan our strategies together in order to stop the monsters from smashing down our castle towers. We either win or lose together. But only the player with the most victory points is declared the Monster Slayer. So there's a little bit of competition here.
Yes, indeed.
To win, we must defeat all 49 monster tokens, and we lose if the monsters destroy all of our castle towers.
We find ourselves in the Castle of Homage, in the center of the Forest of Mentula. It's a sunny, idyllic day, and the inhabitants of the castle just go about the day. Knights riding the horses, swordsmen sharpening their swords, archers practicing in the archery range, and heroes courting uninterested damsels in the local taverns. Peace reigns in the Forest of Mentula, or at least it appears to be, for lurking in the depths and shadows of the forest are the vile orcs, ogres, and goblins.
Two old friends, Astinus, a retired archer of the King's Guard, and Gerontius, once a proud and mighty general, exchange old tales and rumours as they sip their ales at the local tavern.
Gerontius, I've heard that the forest is filled with all sorts of monsters. Goblins, orcs, even the mighty trolls lurk within the shadows of Mentula.
Yes, old friend. I'm afraid I have heard the same rumors. Hopefully they'll shy away from our mighty castle.
My spies have reported that they're gathering an army and we're making preparations to march out of the woods.
That does not bode well, friend. Perhaps we should come back early from retirement. Maybe one last hurrah. What do you say, Astinus?
My spies are correct. We won't have a choice, my friend.
Well, that settles it. I shall gather my weapons and I'll see you in the courtyard.
I'll gather some archers. I'll be on the battlements waiting. Don't wait in the courtyard.
Very well, friend. See you in a bit.
Little time passes, and Gerontius makes his way up the Tower of Homage.
It is as I feared. Look over yonder, towards the edge of the forest. There's movement.
Yes, I see it.
We're going to roll now to see where the starting monsters will appear around our precious castle.
Usually you just place them in one of the 6 rings around the board, but I like to randomize it a bit. We have a choice of 3 goblins, 2 orcs and a troll, and I roll to see where each land. I pick one randomly. I've got an orc, and he goes on ring 3, on the archer ring.
That's in the green zone, yeah?
That's correct. In the first round, they walk out of the forest and stay on the archer ring. but in successive rounds, they will be appearing in the forest itself.
Coming out of Sector 5, a hulking orc warrior emerges from beneath the foliage of the Mintula forest.
Roktor!
Suddenly, from within the forest in Sector 1, trees are being knocked over as a troll bulldozes his way through, emerging at the red archer ring of Zone 1, screaming and frothing at the mouth, ready to take lives.
As our hero's attention is drawn to the hulking troll, cackles echo across the forest as their attention is turned swiftly to Sector 6, the blue archer ring, where a goblin has emerged, smaller than his companions, but no less fierce.
As if following an order from the previous goblin, another one emerges from the forest, but this time on Sector 4. He steps onto the open plains of the green archer ring.
Hearing its companions' calls, a third goblin emerges, this time in the red archer ring.
So now the board is set up, we are ready to begin the game.
It's worse than I feared. We're completely surrounded. Men! At arms!
It's a dark day when I see these foul beasts. But worry not, men, for we shall be victorious.
So we follow an order of play. The first thing would be to draw up, but as we've just started, we already have a full hand, 6 cards, no more than 6 cards. So I don't need to draw in this round. The next one would be to discard and draw an extra card, so I can choose to discard one from my hand. I have a brick and a mortar, a green knight, a green swordsman, a green hero, and a missing card that we will go into more detail if and when I use it. The ring furthest away from the castle is a forest, then followed by the archer ring, the knight ring, and the one closest to the castle is a swordsman ring. The order is important because it can dictate what kind of moves you do. For example, I am probably going to discard the swordsman, although we might need it in another round. I think perhaps I would be able to draw a better card.
You swordsman, stand down!
So I'm discarding the swordsman, as I said, and I have received a knight of any color. I can choose a color ring on which it attacks. So my next play would be to trade cards, optionally.
Alright, so currently I've got 2 archers, one for the blue ring, one for the green. I've got a green knight and a red knight. I've got a swordsman, and I've got a brick, which I've just dropped off the table.
Perhaps it would be wise if one of the green archers joins my ranks, and I give you either the green knight I have or the any color knight that I have. Because in the next turn, that's something you'll find out, before Nick starts his turn, the monsters will start moving 1 ring closer to the castle.
That sounds like a good strategy. Do it.
Green Knight, report to Astinus.
Green archers! Ginger archers!
Now that we have traded, the next play would be to play the actual cards.
Archers, ready your bows. Wait for it. Fire!
A volley of arrows blots out the evening sun. They whiz towards the goblins standing in the green archer ring and completely obliterate it.
Yes, 1 monster less.
The defenders have taken the first kill. The goblin is removed from the board and set aside. The green archer is discarded onto the discard pile, and I continue playing my cards. A hero emerges out of the castle walls.
You! Get back inside! You haven't been given an order!
The hero looks up at Gerontius. Now, old man, calm down. I work for no one. The hero can attack in any ring of its color, and I'm playing a green hero. He rushes towards the orc, marching through the archer ring, and stabs it as it falls to 1 knee.
The orc is down to 1 hit point out of 2.
That's the end of my next play, which was playing the actual cards, as I don't have any more cards I can currently use. And now the next play is for the monsters to move. So each monster in a ring moves 1 ring closer to the castle.
I forgot how quickly they pretty much appear at the castle walls.
Yeah, they're almost knocking at the doors.
Guards! Archers! Heroes, soldiers! Ready yourselves!
And the last play that I need to make is to draw 2 new monsters. Roll the dice and place them on the board. As we said before, they now appear in the forest ring Another orc emerges from the dark forest and positions itself in Sector 2.
No, kill them all.
Oh shit. So my second token I have randomly taken out from the bag is blue monsters move 1. So that means, every blue monster moves 1 further ring towards the castle.
So that's an orc and a goblin then, knocking at our doors. These two monsters have now entered the swordsman ring and are literally beneath the ramparts of the Tower of Homage.
Men, to sections 5 and 6. They are almost upon us.
And now that is my turn, over. And it's over to Nick.
Alright, so step 1, which would be to draw up, I don't need to do. It's now time to discard a card. I've currently got a blue archer, 2 green knights, a red knight, a blue swordsman, quite conveniently, and a brick.
Blue archers, stand down!
I'm going to discard my blue archer, because at the moment there's no monsters in the blue archer ring, and none at present that Al may need to use in the next round. I was debating whether to discard the brick, and Alan literally said, if you do that, there's going to be a kick in the balls if you draw a mortar. And lo and behold, I've drawn a mortar.
What are the odds? So now you have a brick and mortar. That means that you can build up a wall if we lose one.
Very good. There's going to be no trades in this round. Astinus peers over the ramparts.
Blue swordsman, to sector 5!
The blue swordsman draws his sword and, gripping it tight, steps into the fray. The goblin looms over him. He swings his sword with precision and manages to cut him down where he stands. That monster token has been removed from play, and the swordsman has been discarded.
Knights, charge!
2 knights leave their position, kicking up dust as they charge through the swordsman ranks and charges towards the orc that was down on one knee. With a careful aim of its lance, it pierces through the orc's shoulder as he crumples and is no more. A red knight follows charge, this time going towards Sector 2. The goblin stands small there as he looks up at his adversary, charging towards him, quivering in fear. Before he knows it, the lance has gone clean through the nape of his neck as he collapses onto the floor in a pool of his own blood. It's now time to move the monsters. Oh shit.
The orc in Sector 5 in the swordsman ring starts assaulting the wall of the castle, and with his brute force manages to break the castle down. Bricks falling on him and around him, dealing him 1 point of damage. He's down to 1 health point left, but he is now almost within the castle walls. The troll, lumbering, makes his way into the swordsman ring at Sector 1. And the orc that was just peering in Sector 2 from the forest now makes his appearance into the archery.
It's time to draw some monsters. Emerging from the shadows in Sector 5, the blue ring, another orc warrior, emerges.
Good job. We are almost in the castle.
On the opposite side of the battlefield, in Sector 3, in the green ring, the brute, hulking form of a second troll emerges from the forest.
Oh shit! We're starting to lose control of the battlefield.
It's now over to you, Gerontius.
I need to start by drawing 2 cards to take me up to 6.
Archers, stand down.
I'm gonna discard a green archer. And I just drew a useless card, a mortar.
Uh-oh. Well, you can rebuild that wall that damn orc knocked down.
Yeah, but I already had a brick and a mortar, so it's pretty much useless. I will not be trading this round.
Archers, fire at will. Aim for the orc. Sector 2.
The archers let off another barrage of arrows, many missing, as the orc manages to hack at them in mid-flight. He's injured, but still keeps going.
Masons, quick, rebuild the fallen wall. We need to fix our defenses.
I have discarded a brick and a mortar, and I'm going to build the fallen wall that the orc destroyed in the previous turn. And that's my play done with my cards, so now it is time for me to move the monsters. The troll emerges from the forest and onto the archer ring in Sector 3. With each step, the ground around him vibrates. The orc, annoyed that the wall that he had crumbled has been rebuilt in front of his very own eyes, throws himself at it, clawing and headbutting trying to topple it over again. He manages once again to destroy the wall, but the exertion and the wounds from his previous attempt take its toll on it, and he perishes too. Another orc, seeing this, advances in Sector 5 to the archer ring, determined to avenge his fallen brother. The wounded orc in Sector 2 closes the gap again and enters into the ring of the swordsman, ready to assail the wall. The first troll that emerged from the forest, undeterred, breaks through Sector 1's wall, demolishing it in a fell swoop. The action damages the troll, and he falls back to the swordsman ring, waiting his next turn.
Just to clarify, when a monster knocks down a wall, they take 1 point of damage.
And they are knocked back into the swordsman ring. They do not enter the castle ring immediately. They would do so in the next turn if we don't build a wall to stop them. So now I'm drawing again from the sack randomly to see what monsters we get. I need to roll to see the sector, and I have rolled a 1. Suddenly, a large rumbling noise is heard from Sector 1. Not a human noise. It grows stronger and stronger, and everyone in the castle can see as whatever's making its way towards it is knocking down trees left, right and center. Suddenly erupting from within the tree line, a huge boulder
Oh no! No!
races its way towards the castle, obliterating the troll that was in its way and smashing right against one of the castle towers, knocking it over. The castle reverberates, and our heroes catch the footing.
We have lost the tower! Men, ready yourselves, for the battle is about to become harder.
This is a dark day!
To clarify, we now have lost a tower. We cannot rebuild towers. We can still rebuild walls, but towers cannot be rebuilt. We have 5 towers remaining.
It's only round 2, man.
Yeah, we've lost 2 walls and a tower so far.
It's looking grim.
So I'm picking another token.
It.
Oh dear. I think I know what this is. Out of the forest in Sector 4, the green ring, a mysterious, hooded figure emerges with a crooked staff in one hand and a glass vial of ominous red liquid in the other. He breaks a wry smile and looks towards his comrades as he starts chanting something in the foul, orcish tongue. As he chants, all companions that have taken any damage will regain 1 point. Fortunately for us, I believe that's only one of the monsters.
That's correct. The orc in Sector 2 that was closing in onto one of the walls is now in the swordsman ring and is up to 2 points of full health.
Shit.
That was my second monster token I drew, so that's my turn done.
So I've got to draw up to 6. That means I've got to draw 3 cards. I've drawn a blue swordsman, a green archer, and something called a nice shot. And this states, play this card with any other hit card to slay the hit monster. So I've got the option now to discard a card, which I'm not gonna do.
You, Green Archer, that troll! It threatens to bring down the lives that we have built here in Mintula Forest. Take careful aim. Aim for the weak spot beneath its armor.
The archer takes a deep breath, closes his eyes momentarily, and draws the bowstring tight, right up to his chin. He takes careful aim, and lets loose, as the arrow flies true from his bow, and swiftly finds its mark, square between the eyes of the troll, knocking it senseless and out of life. I've just played my archer and the nice shot.
Nice. That's 1 hit kill. The troll is out.
Masons, quick, back to Sector 5. Rebuild that damn wall again.
I'm playing a brick and mortar, and we are regaining our fortifications in Sector 5. That brings an end to my turn in respect of playing cards, and I've got to move the monsters. The orc healer in Sector 4 moves 1 ring forward as he enters the green archer ring. The orc in Sector 5 rages as he makes a rush towards the blue night ring. The orc rejuvenated in Sector 2 starts pummeling at the walls again, bringing it crashing down as the exertion takes a point of damage from him. That side of our castle is looking pretty exposed at the moment.
Yeah, Sector 1 and 2 have no walls currently, and Sector 1 also lost its tower.
It's looking hairy. Pass me the monster bag, if you will. It's time to draw. Oh dear. My first monster token is that all monsters in green move 1.
Oof. Not good, but it could be worse. We just have one, which is the healer.
Could have been much worse. Hearing the guttural roar of his fallen kin, the earth starts to shake. The trees start to quiver as an enraged troll rushes out of the forest in Sector 2.
Oh no.
The Red Ring. Back over to Al.
Again, I need to draw up to 6, which is 3 more cards.
Masons, go and mix me up some mortar. Take it to Astinus.
So I'm swapping with Nick. I'm giving him the mortar, and he'll be handing me the Blue Knight.
Knights, charge!
Suddenly, 2 knights donned in blue armor charge out of the castle walls in Sector 5 and charge towards the orc that readies himself for impact. The orc stands no chance and is trampled underfoot by both knights.
Good job, knights. Come back. Swordsman, advance.
The swordsman rushes out of the castle without any walls to block his path. He makes quick work of the orc that was trying to enter within the castle walls. The orc dies, muttering a curse with his last breath.
To the healer, knight. Soften him up.
Another knight emerges and charges with lance pointing straight at the healer. He impales the lance in the healer's shoulder, sending him sprawling across the forest floor. The knight retreats, but the healer gets up, visibly hurt. And that's my turn. In terms of playing cards, now it is time to move the monsters. The healer, annoyed and angered, rushes into the swordsman ring on Sector 4, nearly at the castle's walls. The troll bursts through the forest, sending birds around him fluttering in fear. He steps into the archer ring in Section 2 with a massive defiant growl. And now it's time to pull 2 more monsters out of the bag.
The monster bag's feeling noticeably lighter already.
Which is always good, but there's a good few in here still.
There'll be a surprise for me because I haven't played this game in years.
This is the worst token I could have drawn right now.
For real?
Yeah. All players discard 1 card. The problem is that I have 2 very important cards currently. One is a barbarian, which can attack and a 1-hit kill any monster in any ring.
Yeah, don't let go of that one.
Yeah. Except the forest, so I couldn't use it last time. And then I have the missing card that I had since round 1, and it means that I would not draw any monster tokens on that turn. But what you're gonna do? You can't win them all, so I'm gonna discard the missing card.
I'm going to discard the blue swordsman because there's currently no monsters in the blue rings.
Not too bad for you then.
Yeah, I want to keep hold of the mortar in the hope that I draw a brick in my next draw.
Yeah, we need to rebuild some walls. So my second token, is a terrible one to pull. Because it's red monsters move 1, and almost all the sectors are empty, except 2 and 4. 2 being a red, so the troll, number 2, now moves over to the night ring.
Why didn't you one-shot kill that damn troll?
Because he was in the forest, I couldn't use it.
Oh, okay.
But I can, in your turn, swap it with you.
He may be called into action yet.
Yep, for sure. And that's the end of my turn. Now it's over to Nick.
I'm going to draw up. I've currently only got 1 card, which means I need to draw 5. Oh, wouldn't you believe it? The first card is a brick to go with my mortar.
Nice.
Then I've drawn a green swordsman, which is very useful. I've drawn a blue knight. I've drawn a red archer. And I've got this sexy little card with a lion that looks like the House of Lannister on it, which says, play this card to add 2 cards to your deck, even if it exceeds the normal hand. So you know what I'm gonna do.
You're gonna play it.
You know it. But first I need to decide whether to discard. I mean, I could discard the blue knight for now and see if we get something that I can use to hit that troll with rather than use your barbarian already. Or something that maybe is going to be useful to you in your next round.
You, knight over there, with the blue cape. Retreat. We'll call you when the time is right.
I'm discarding the blue knight and I'm going to draw up. Ooh, I've got some tar. When we decide to play this card, we place a tar token on 1 monster, and that monster will not move for that turn. Alright, I'm going to offer a trade to Al. I'm going to give him my draw 2 cards card in exchange for that barbarian.
Nice. put him to work immediately.
The barbarian struts out from the ruins of sectors 1 and 2, and he stares down the troll that's lumbering towards what little remains on that side of the castle. His eyes seem a fervent red, and he walks slowly, almost as if it's taunting him. But the reality is he is in a deep trance, with only one thing on his mind. As he closes the gap, he breaks into a fervent frenzy, and in a flurry of blows, strikes down the troll where he stands. It is a massacre, as the speed and violence with which he relentlessly hacks at his foe is no match for the poor troll, as he falls to the ground, piece by piece.
Ooh, that troll is gone.
Swordsman! To Sector 4! Don't let that damn foul beast heal any more! Break him down where he stands!
The swordman duly reports for duty, answering the orders that Astinus gives him, rushes out, sword drawn, and overpowers the orc healer, slaying him where he stands as he collapses in front of the swordsman's feet. The board is currently clear of all monsters.
Yeah, right now it's a rare respite. Let's see how it goes.
I'm also going to play my brick and mortar, and I'm going to rebuild. I was going to say Sector 1, but I'm going to say Sector 2 just because there seems to have been more action coming from there.
And also Sector 1 no longer has a castle tower, whereas Sector 2 still does.
Quite the observation that had completely flown over my head. Can tell Astinus' age here. It would have been the time to move the monsters, but
There are none.
there are none.
Well done, men. Rest for a brief moment, for more will come.
In reply, thunderous roar is heard from the forest in Sector 1, as foliage and dirt are flung all over the place. Astinus looks over the battlements, and to his horror, he sees an almighty boulder
Not on the same
Rush.
place.
rushing towards the castle. Unfortunately for us, Astinus had decided to rebuild the wall in Sector 2,
Yeah,
leaving Sector 1 completely exposed. It's like the game is mocking us.
yeah.
What happens now? There's no wall and there's no tower there. Does it just go straight through and knock the opposite tower?
That's right.
Oh shit. Oh dear. So we've now lost 2 of our 6 towers, yes?
Yes, the castle has been sundered.
It's been split in 2.
Yeah.
Again, the game mocks us, because in Section 1, rushing out of the forest, giggling and chuckling with a horrific tone that our heroes recognize as none other than yet another troll.
So he threw the damn boulder.
I should have built the wall in Sector 1.
It's over to my turn. I now need to draw 5 cards.
Archers, put your weapons down. You're not needed at the moment, but stay at the ready.
I am swapping with Nick, and I'm getting the tar and giving him a red archer.
The strategy here is that at the end of Al's turn, the troll is going to march into the red archer ring, and I now have 2 red archers to shoot him with.
That's correct. As we only have that troll and he's currently in the forest, I can't do anything else with my turn other than draw 2 cards. So I'll probably do that. I got a drive him back card, which is very useful. With this you can move 1 monster back into the forest and you keep him in the same numbered sector. And another red archer that I could even give to Nick next turn, so he can kill off the troll for once and for all.
The battlefield is going to be littered with the bodies of his kin.
And now with that, it's time for the monsters to move. The troll angrily steps into the archer range, unbeknownst to him that was not the best move he could make.
He's going down.
And now move over to the drawing of tokens, monster tokens. I got the blue monsters move 1. We do not have any blue monsters, so it's a perfect time to draw that token.
Yes!
Nothing happens. And adjacent to the current troll, another one, ferociously roaring, emerges from within the forest, knocking down trees around him.
This is in Sector 6.
And that is now my turn. Over to you, Nick.
You know the drill by now. I'm going to draw up. I've currently got 2 cards, so that means I've got to draw 4. I've just grabbed 2 red knights, 1 green swordsman, and a very useful card which says Fortify Wall, which means that we can place the Fortify token on one wall, and when hit, the token damages monsters but stops boulders. Does that mean that the wall doesn't take damage?
The barricade would take damage and the wall stays standing.
Ooh, that's a good one to have. Potentially one for Sector 6, depending on how that troll plays out. I'm gonna swap my Fortify wall for Al's Red Archer, because judging by the new troll that's emerged, if we do not have the cards to slay him, within a couple of turns he would end up at the wall and it would incidentally be Al's turn. So I think that's a wise move for Gerontius to hold that card.
Archers, are they ready? Aim! Fire!
3 archers peering over the walls in Sector 2. Take aim towards the troll in Sector 1. Remember that the wall and tower of that section have collapsed. So these arrows are fired from the flank, race across the open terrain, and strike the troll down like Boromir in the Fellowship of the Ring. It's time to move the monsters. I've got no other cards that I can play. We only have 1 monster, which means that the troll of Sector 6 has now marched into the archer ring. As the troll from Sector 6 marches towards the castle wall, the ground starts to shake with far too much ferocity for just one troll. Stepping through the broken foliage and felled trees, a second troll emerges.
That has to be the last one of them, right?
Surely. It's not looking good there. I'm glad I gave you the tar and that fortify wall. From Sector 4, within the green ring, an orc emerges, drawing his battle axe, pointing it at the battlements, and letting out a guttural war cry.
So it's now my turn. I already have 7 cards because I used the draw 2 cards previously, so I don't draw anymore. I think I'm going to discard a swordsman because currently there's nothing on Sector 2 in the red section. And that's the one furthest away from the forest, so I'm going to discard and see if I can get anything useful for the trolls that we have at hand.
Swordsman at ease. Rest, for you will be needed when the going gets tough.
And the tough get going.
Ready yourselves, men. More of them are sure to come. Keep your eyes on Sector 4 and 6, for the threat is imminent there.
I have no moves to make, as 2 of the 3 enemies are still in the forest ring, and the one that isn't is in a blue archer ring in Sector 6, and I have no blue archers. So for now, I'm just not going to do anything. Keep the cards I have.
Yeah, I've got nothing of value to trade you in this round either.
So now it's over to the monsters. Both trolls charge down towards the castle itself, not stopping for anything, enraged, seeing the corpses of the fallen brethren. And the orc in Sector 4 also charges towards our castle. It's the monsters' turn now for them to emerge from the forests. An orc roars defiantly as he comes out in Sector 1. Oh, and I've drawn a horrible token, but perhaps the best time to draw it, as the game board isn't too full of monsters. I now have to draw 4 more monster tokens.
Sorry, how many?
4 more monster tokens.
Oh my god. Yeah, I suppose better now than when it's crawling with beasties.
Yeah. So the orc that stepped into the forest previously takes out a horn and sounds the alarm to bring in reinforcements.
Oh, that laugh makes me nervous.
And another 3 have to emerge. So I've got the 4 that I...
Well, one of the 4 was what you've just drawn now.
So I've got 6 more now to take out.
Oh, sorry, was that your first card as well? Your first monster token?
Yeah. The orc was the first one. The second one was the extra 4.
Okay, yeah.
So I took 1. That was an extra 3. Still to take out, and I've just taken out an extra 3 token as well. So that's a total of 6 that I now have to draw.
Oh my god. This is truly a castle panic.
Suddenly, again, the now too familiar sound of a rolling stone comes from within Sector 5, from behind the tall trees of the forest, Ventula. Breaking and splintering the trees at the edge of the forest, the huge stone emerges, stopping for nothing on its way. Unfortunately for us, there are no orcs in its trajectory, so it slams into the castle wall and breaks it apart.
Oh dear. Why didn't you roll a 6? Would you have killed both trolls with that, or would it have just killed one?
Yeah, it obliterates everything in its way.
Ah.
Stops only at a wall or a tower. I need 5 more tokens to go. Now monsters move counterclockwise. So both trolls, seeing that the wall in Sector 5 has fallen, move into Sector 5.
This is the kind of dick move that if it had happened in a video game, I would have been screaming that it was scripted and cheating.
Well, it isn't, and perhaps the orcs are smarter than we thought. The other orc in Sector 4 tries to maneuver for a pincer and goes into Section 3, still in the archer ring.
The orc that blew his horn moves counterclockwise and is now in the forest of Sector 6. Why couldn't you have pulled that card before the damn boulder?
I know. It's what it is. So this is their third one. Oh! From within the forest in Sector 4, a fanfare of trumpets can be heard. Out from it emerges a rather dashingly dressed goblin, wearing a golden crown. Beside him, and with him, an entourage of 3 other monsters.
So 6 more tokens to go?
6 more to go. Yep. It's a good thing we held on to the fortified wall, tar, and drive him back token.
Gerontius, we're fucked.
Ready yourselves, men. We've got this. Believe in each other and fight strongly, and we shall overcome these horrible beasts. Astinus, do not waver. Not now.
Unbeknownst to the heroes defending the castle, from within the forest, the most vile sorcery has been set into motion. A plague that has reached within the castle walls and has gripped all swordsmen. They all perish. We need to discard all swordsmen in our hand.
Oh my god. That fortify card that you have, does that work for towers as well, or just for walls?
Just for walls.
Oh dear. I was thinking it might be a good idea to hold one of those. Oh no, you can't. You've ended your turn.
Yeah, no. Whatever I do, it has to be you now.
Oh.
If I need to trade with you or something.
God damn it.
The orcs, goblins, and trolls renew their unrelentless march towards the castle. From within Sector 6, a sole goblin emerges in the forest, setting himself beside the orc that is already marching his way out. Adjacent, a further troll, no doubt the one that rolled the boulder into the castle wall.
We've got a troll train going on over here.
Jumps out from the forest to follow his 2 other brother trolls that are slowly but surely making their way into the inner sanctum of the Castle of Homage. As the civilians of the castle are clearing the dead swordsmen, suddenly the knights are also gripped.
What?
By the infestation and the plague, all succumbing to an unknown, mysterious illness.
So I've got no cards left. I've just lost my 2 red knights.
Damn it.
Might be useful because there's nothing at the moment in Sector 2 or 1.
Crashing through the trees, another boulder smashes into the orc that was in the archer ring trying to attack the castle. He is immediately squashed, but the boulder continues its trajectory towards the wall, smashing into it, bringing it down.
Things have got pretty hairy this round.
Yeah, unfortunately I've taken a lot of tokens, but in the plus side, I mean, we've cleared a lot of tokens.
Yeah, that bag must be quite empty in comparison. Huh?
Yeah, if we can mitigate what we have on the board, we might be able to win. But it's looking hairy. We only have 3 walls standing, and there's 1 more token. An orc smug and laughing at the chaos that the band is bringing to the castle and its citizens emerges from the forest in Sector 1, readying his weapon. And that finally is my turn.
What a turn it's been. So it's over to me. Just a quick recap on what's on the board, because a lot has happened that turn. In Sector 1 we have a orc, a lonesome orc, currently within the forest ring. Sectors 2 and 3 are empty of monsters. Sector 3 has that damned goblin king that brought with him all this chaos. He's currently within the forest ring there. Sector 5 has a trio of trolls. One in the Knight's Ring, one in the Archer's Ring, and one in the Forest Ring. And then in Sector 6, we've got a Goblin and an Orc marching towards the castle walls. We currently have 4 towers remaining and 3 outer walls. It's not looking particularly good. So I have to draw a full hand now at the start of my turn. I've got 0 cards, so I need to draw 6. That's not a bad draw. I've got 1 brick. I've got 2 blue knights, which means I can do some serious damage to one of the trolls. I also have 2 blue archers, which means I do some serious damage to a second troll. And then I have this beautiful little card, which says Scavenge. It says that I can search the discard pile for any one card of my choice and add it to my hand.
Nice. Perhaps it's time to invoke the Barbarian again.
Yeah, that was the one-hit kill, yeah, wasn't it?
That's right. Or the piercing shot, whatever it was called, the one you did before, where you one-hit kill a beast.
Yeah.
You blue archers, report to Gerontius. He will give you instructions when the damn trolls enter your range.
I'm trading 1 blue archer with Al for a mortar. I'm going to use that to swiftly rebuild the wall in Sector 5, which is looking rather precarious. I'm then going to play my Scavenge card and grab the Nice Shot.
Archer, take careful aim. Slay the damn brute.
I'm playing the blue archer that I've got remaining along with the Nice Shot. The archer feeling emboldened as he sees his companions rebuilding the wall before him. Cocks his head slightly to the side, licks his fingers, tests which direction the wind's coming from, and with a cool composure takes careful aim and obliterates the troll with an arrow through his eye.
Nice.
Now, knights! Now's the opportunity! Charge!
2 knights donning blue capes rush from amongst the masons that are rebuilding the wall in Sector 5, stopping at nothing as they gallop over the bodies of fallen foe and friend. But alas, they are only able to deal the troll with 2 points of damage before they are beaten down into submission. That now means that I've used all 6 of my cards. Quite a productive round.
Very good. Taking care of one of the trolls, and the other one is down to its last breath with 1 hit point.
But unfortunately, it now means it's time to move the monsters. We'll go around in clockwork. Sector 1, the orc moves into the red ring of archers. No monsters in sectors 2 and 3. We go over to Sector 4, and the Goblin King moves into the archer ring. For the green, Sector 5, where the wall has just been rebuilt and has 2 trolls still standing, one that's heavily wounded, moves on undeterred into the swordsman ring and is beneath the castle walls. The other finally makes his way out of the edge of the forest and lies within the range of Gerontius's blue archer. In Sector 6, the orc and goblin duo march on, feeling emboldened by their troll allies, and they emerge into the blue archer ring. I now have to draw 2 monster tokens. In Sector 2, an orc warrior bursts through the foliage, outflanking the castle wall as Astinus and Gerontius have moved most of their attention to Sectors 5 and 6. A guttural roar is heard echoing amongst the foliage of Sector 1. A precarious situation for our heroes, given that both the castle wall and tower there have been obliterated. A hulking frame that the heroes know only too well as yet another troll
Oh, damn.
emerges.
Surely that one must be the last one.
And that ends my turn.
Very well. It's been a good turn. Mitigated some of the troubles, but we're still in a bad place. Let's see how my turn goes now. I need to draw 1 card. It's not an ideal draw. I drew a red swordsman.
You could discard if you want to.
Yep, I'm gonna discard and hope for something better for the current situation. A blue hero, not bad.
Actually, that's pretty good because we've got a lot of enemies in Sector 5 and 6.
Yeah, a lot of enemies in the blue sector.
Masons, fortify the wall.
2 stone masons rush out, terrified of the hulking troll in front of them, but start fortifying the wall to brace it from attack. As soon as they finish with the works, they scamper back inside. Gerontius keeps barking orders.
Archers at the ready.
An archer emerges from top the ramparts at section 6, aims steadily, and lets loose an arrow that hits a goblin right in the heart, killing him on the spot. As this is happening, a hero emerges in Sector 5, nonchalantly passes by the first troll that is trying to destroy the fortifications the masons just built, and walks up to the troll that is now in the archer ring, getting closer to the castle itself. Hand-to-hand combat ensues, and it seems the hero has the upper hand, until the troll, annoyed by what he seems to think is a mere distraction, brings a large open hand onto the hero, crushing him underneath. The troll does take 1 point of damage though. As this was going on, another hero emerged onto Section 1 and rushes up to the orc. They both match each other's blows, but finally, after long fought battle, and after dwindling the orc down to his last breath, the hero succumbs to his wounds. And that's my turn. Gerontius, satisfied, leans back momentarily, sipping some water from his almost empty water skin, and readies himself for the next attack. So that's my turn. We are now going to move the monsters, starting at Section 1. The orc gets closer to the castle and stops at the knight ring, and the last troll that came out, still with 3 hit points, steps into the Section 1 archer ring. On Section 2, an orc rushes out from the forest and steps onto the archer ring. There are no monsters on 3, but on 4 the Goblin King, thinking he goes unnoticed, takes a step closer to the castle, into the knight ring. In Section 5, Gerontius's master plan unravels. The troll, enraged by the masons that had blocked his path, starts hammering at the fortification, which splinters, and a large wooden beam breaks off and plunges into his side, killing the troll where he stood. The fortifications are no more, but at least the wall still stands. His troll brother behind him had just squashed the hero, enraged, runs forwards towards the knight's ring, determined to get to the castle and demolish it once and for all. And at number 6, a lonely orc slowly wades into the shallow water of the blue section of the blue ring of the knights. I now need to draw 2 more monster tokens. The bag is ever lighter, but there's still a few to go. Whew, it's an unfortunate pull. Red monsters move 1.
Oh shit.
So in both sections 1 and 2, the monsters are emboldened, seeing as the castle on that side is fragile and falling, and push on. We now have 1 orc with 1 hit point in the swordsman area in section 1. The troll is ever so closer and occupies the knight ring in section 1, and another orc occupies section 2's knight ring. Oh shit.
You got me shaking.
Yes, I think I've probably done the worst pulls in this game, and it might cost us. It might cost us. Shit. From within the dark forests of Section 6, an orc warlord emerges, barking orders to its foot soldiers. The troll in Section 5 and the orc in Section 6, both in the blue section, look back at the warlord and hurry forwards, making their way into the inner section of the swordsman ring. Both are now ready to destroy the walls.
This couldn't have gone worse, I think.
Yep, it's not ideal.
Well, while Al's been finishing his turn, I have been diligently shuffling the discard deck, because we've now pulled all cards from there. The discard deck now becomes our draw deck once again. I'm going to start by drawing up. I have 0 cards at the moment, so I need to draw up to a full hand of 6. What have I got?
Hopefully some blue swordsmen.
Well, I have a blue hero.
Nice.
I have correction. I have a green hero.
Damn it. Well, I mean...
I have a green swordsman. I have some mortar. I have a green archer. Another green archer. And another green swordsman.
Okay.
Everything's green.
Yeah, okay, so nothing really works right now. But you can discard.
Alright, so there's not much I can do this turn. What I am going to do is start off by discarding 1 green swordsman, because I can't make use of either. Looking at the board strategically, there is the Goblin King that will move into the swordsman. So I'm going to offer that as a trade to Al, but not before I draw my card for the discard, and I've pulled a blue knight, which at present is equally useless.
Swordsman, to Sector 4. Await Gerontius' orders. Keep your eyes on that damned Goblin King.
In exchange, I'm taking the Tar card, and I'm going to promptly use that to stop the orc in Sector 1 from entering the castle ring unchallenged, which would pose serious risk to our 4 remaining towers. That means that at the end of my turn, it will not be able to move, and we will pray and hope that Al draws an elusive red swordsman.
You there? What are you doing? Put yourself to good use. We have no time. Strike down the damned Goblin King.
Astinus barks orders at a hero donning green armor, which shines bright like an emerald. He quickly obeys his orders, rushes through the walls, and makes his way to meet the Goblin King in hand-to-hand combat. A swift battle ensues, during which the hero is able to wound the Goblin King, but unfortunately, he is no match, as he is slain down before his companions. The Goblin King is down to his last hit point. That's the end of my card's turn. I now have to move the monsters.
It's not looking good.
No,
Okay.
at all. So, starting clockwise from Sector 1, the troll moves alongside the orc, which has been altered by the tar. That means we've got 2 monsters in the swordsman ring in the red sector. The orc in Sector 2, sensing that the castle is near its demise, rushes into the swordsman ring, stopping just short of the wall. There's nothing in Sector 3. The Goblin King, feeling rash now having slain the almighty green hero, presses on and finds himself at the base of the fortifications at Sector 4. In Sector 5, the wounded troll smashes into the wall with all his might, bringing it crumbling down, but not before some bricks and mortar clonk him on the head for 1 point of damage. He's down to his last point. In Sector 6, the orc warlord marches forward brazenly as he walks into the archer ring. 2 rings in front of him, the orc warrior, feeling encouraged by his troll brethren, also knocks down the wall. That now means that in Sectors 5, 6, 1 and 3, the towers of Castle of Homage lay bare and prime for assault. We're gonna die. We're gonna die.
We are surrounded, heavily surrounded. It's gonna take a miracle, but depends what cards I draw in my turn and what tokens you draw in your turn. It might still work out for us.
Yeah, it's on to the last phase of my turn. I need to draw 2 monster tokens. We could do with nothing coming out in Sectors 1, 6 or 5. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. My first token is a move the monsters clockwise.
Oh, okay.
I guess the one that's covered in tar doesn't move.
No.
So we have the troll in Sector 1 move across to Sector 2. The orc in Sector 2 move across to Sector 3. The Goblin King, seeing the walls of Sector 5 have come crumbling down, moves across. The troll in Sector 5 moves into Sector 6. And the orc in Sector 6 moves to Sector 1. We also have the orc warlord maneuvering into Sector 1.
Very tactical of them.
From Sector 3, cackles are heard from the forest. As a lone goblin warrior emerges, spear in hand, who rushes to join the fray.
My turn now. I need to draw 4 cards to get up to a full hand of 6. You're hoping for some good ones. Let's see. Okay, it's not ideal. The battleground is covered in devastation. Friend and foe lie strewn across the ground at the foot of the Castle of Homage. At Section 1, the orc frees himself from the tar and readies himself for the final assault on the crumbling castle. Next to him, still in Section 1, another orc, also with 1 hit point left, is helping him with his final assault. 2 rings behind him, the orc warlord barks more orders. Section 2, a full health and roaring troll begins his assault on one of the remaining walls of this castle. Section 3 sees as an orc has maneuvered into an opening and is just about to reach one of the inner towers. A goblin looking from afar, from within the forest, stands back, hoping that he does not have to get involved, and that the fight will soon be over. Section 5 has the still alive Goblin King, wriggling his way through fallen debris and soldiers, trying to find a way into the castle itself. And one more orc, almost at death's door, still defiant, is ready to take a tower with him. We are completely surrounded at this point. I think there's only one section, section 4, that has nothing. And there's 6 monsters, a mix of orcs, trolls and goblins, directly in the swordsmen rings of different colours, ready to destroy what remains of the castle in their next turn. Let's see if we can fight them off. It's gonna be hard.
Blue Knight, it's a heavy day if we are to lose here today, but we must not lose faith in our strength. Go and search for help. See if you can find the barbarian. We need all the strength we can get.
I'm going to discard the Blue Knight and pick one from the deck, hoping that it's a barbarian, and it is not the barbarian.
Damn it.
It is a useless blue archer. So
What a fool of a knight.
yeah. I cannot trade with Nick really because he has no items that would be of use to me, and I don't have any that would be of use to him. So first off, I have a drive him back card that I can use to drive one single monster away. How do we do this?
Why don't you start off by seeing if you can kill anything first, and then see what remains on the board?
Yeah.
Swordsman, there's an orc breaking into the castle. Sector 3. Make sure you finish him off.
2 swordsmen run out into Sector 3 and are immediately confronted with an orc that is trying to clamber over the ruined wall. Swordsmen wait till the orc has made it to the cusp of the mountainous rubble, and in surprise both strike at the same time, immediately killing the orc. Both retreat back into the castle walls.
Archers, ready your bows. Aim true for the orc warlord. He seems to be pulling the strings.
2 archers emerge and quickly fire the orc warlord, both arrows finding him, leaving the orc warlord panting and falling to his knees. He is in bad shape, but his unrelentless march will still continue. So now I have the final remaining card, the driving back card. Gerontius solemnly stares over the destruction, shakes off his hesitation.
One last push, men. Do not allow them to enter the inner walls.
A horde emerges from the castle, citizens and soldiers alike, and push one of the orcs in Section 1 all the way back to the forest. Many perish in their heroic deed, but hopefully our heroes have been able to save some time and see this fight through. My turn is over. It's over to the monsters. Immediately, the monster at Section 1 that was thrown back into the forest makes his way defiantly back into the archer ring. The orc warlord, almost crawling, makes it into the night ring of Section 1. One of the orcs finds himself within the castle walls. The tower, already a mass of rubble beneath his feet, but he readies to move on to the next tower to bring it crashing down. A troll, full of spirit and health, in Section 2, smashes through the wall undeterred, taking no notice of the damage that his ferocious attack dealt to himself. He still stays at the swordsman's ring, readying for his final assault on the castle. A lonely goblin in Section 3, seeing that the battle is slowly turning in their favour, finds the courage to step out of the forest and into the archer ring. The Goblin King, with one last hurrah, smashes through one of the remaining towers, bringing it toppling down onto him, killing himself and many defenders with him. An orc, proud of the valiant display of the Goblin King, feels he should be no lesser, and likewise sacrifices himself to bring down one of the 3 last remaining towers.
We only have 2 towers remaining and 1 lonely wall.
Yep, that's all of them moved. We have 1 orc directly in the castle ring, ready to destroy 1 tower, and we also have a troll almost inside the castle ring. But there's still hope. Let's see what I pull from the monster bag.
Is there anything good in the monster bag? Anything that helps us?
Not really. Other than the boulders, that can be a good thing and a bad thing, depending where you drop it. But no, not really.
Come on, you've got to get a boulder in section 1.
It's a sorry sight for the defenders. Their spirits already low. A delta further below. And from section 3, they hear the unmistakable roar of a troll.
How many trolls in this damn army?
Emerging from the forest. In section 2, another orc charges in, peering through the dense woods and laughing at the sight of destruction before him.
Fear not, men, do not cower. Astinus has seen us through tougher times. Trusting him, he has got this.
I'm afraid that this is a dark day. My friend, the sun, may not rise for us.
I can only draw 2 cards now, so I'm really, really hoping that one of these is a barbarian. It's not. I've got a useless blue hero, which will do fuck all at the moment. But I have pulled a brick to go with my mortar,
Oh, nice.
so I can temporarily slow down that troll that just destroyed one of our walls. Astinus barks out an order to the Blue Knight to retreat and to seek assistance from anywhere he can, reminding him this time to not bring back somebody with the same color cloak as he did last time. I'm discarding a Blue Knight.
Come on, barbarian.
Ooh, I've drawn a missing card.
Oh, but the deck is quite thin at the moment. Do we have anything of use in the discard pile?
No, the missing card is do not draw any monster tokens this turn.
Oh.
So needless to say, that's going to be played, so I will not draw any further monster tokens. I'm going to rebuild the wall in front of that troll. That leaves me with 2 green archers and 1 blue hero. The blue hero can't do anything.
I told you, Gerontius, it is a dark day. Alas, all we have right now is a soul archer. Aim true, please, do not miss, for our lives depend on you.
The green archer takes aim, draws his bow, and strikes the goblin with an arrow through his heart. There's 1 monster less on the table, but unfortunately for the heroes, there's more carnage to follow as we move into the monster moving phase. Starting at Sector 1, the wounded orc moves on to the next tower, the one that lies in front of the newly rebuilt wall, and he brings it crashing down as it crumples him, a valiant sacrifice for his orc, troll, and goblin brethren. The heroes have a soul tower remaining. The orc warlord moves 1 ring further forward into the red swordsman ring, and an orc moves from the archer ring into the knight ring. They both have 1 hit point left. The troll, again enraged, seeing his efforts to breach the wall thwarted, exerts himself and brings it crashing down again, taking 1 point of damage in the process, leaving him on his last remaining point. The orc that emerged in the forest of Sector 2 presses on and moves valiantly and unchallenged into the red archer ring. Alas for our heroes, the troll in Sector 3 leaves the forest and brazenly steps into the archer ring, confident that the heroes are at their wits' end. The board is looking rather glum, with a lonely tower standing, flanked by a solitary wall. Fortunately for us, we're not drawing any monster tokens thanks to that missing card. It's now over to Al. It's now or never.
I've got 1 card only, so I need to draw 5 more.
Men, hurry! Gather everyone. Bring them back to the last standing tower. We will defend this spot with our lives. If it falls, we fall. Archers, hurry up. Look for the barbarian. He's our only hope.
I'm gonna discard an archer, a blue one, at that, because there's nothing in the blue sections, and I'm hoping for a barbarian. Oh no! The blue archer comes back.
Oh, what is up with the bloody blue regiment? They're useless, utterly useless.
I'm sorry, Gerontius. I have no sight of the barbarian. He might have already perished. Damn it! Damn it all to hell! Don't worry, son. We can still win this. Green Knight, report to Astinus. He will give you Your final orders. Tell him to send me some archers.
I'm trading my Green Knight for Nick's Green Archer. You summoned me, sir?
Yes, Green Archer. It is time to prove your worth. You see that troll? Kill him.
Yes, sir! The Green Archer hurries to the ramparts of the last remaining tower, and with a steady aim, fires an arrow that catches the troll on one knee.
Well done, boy. Stand down. Knights! Charge forwards. Ignore the warlord. Ignore the troll. Kill off the orc. We need to think their numbers.
And a knight, as instructed, charges forwards towards the orc that is slowly making his way to the inner sanctum of the castle, and cuts him down on the spot. Triumphantly, the knight returns into the castle, hoping that their last-ditch efforts are enough to win this battle.
Archers, ready yourself. Sector 2, the orc. Bring him down, or at least wound him.
Another archer fires an arrow and wounds the orc that has just stepped out of the forest, hoping that these last attacks will drive them away, perhaps futilely. When they all feel that everything is lost, a hand juts out from within the rubble. Then another, the hero, almost at death's door, wobbles up to the troll that is about to enter the inner crumbled walls of the castle. With a last assault, he drives his bloodied sword deep in the heart of the towering troll that crumbles onto him as they both disappear into the rubble. A worthy sacrifice that may still win our defenders sometime. Two blue archers look on in despair. They have nothing to offer. So that's the end of my turn with the cards. It's over to the monster's turn. Currently there's 3 on the board. It's not looking bad, but we only have 1 tower and 1 wall. And one of the 3 remaining monsters is about to enter the castle walls.
That means that he can only be driven back or slain by a barbarian.
Or we could slow him down with a tar. But that's more of a time-saving thing. It's kind of...
Yeah, it's going to prolong the inevitable, yeah.
So the warlord is now within the inner walls. He's 2 moves away from destroying the last remaining tower. To his left, the orc that just emerged from the forest and took an arrow, bleeding but still alive, makes his way to the night ring in section 2. And on section 3, a troll rushes into the night ring, eyes fixed on the last remaining tower that stands defiantly in front of him. I now need to draw 2 more monster tokens. Believe it or not, there's still some more in here. An orc, seeing the opportunity to finish this battle, emerges from sector 3, 1 space behind the troll. He stays within the confines of the forest. The blue archers that felt they could not help start feeling poorly. Again, that strange plague that took many brothers before them ends their lives. Yeah, I drew a plague archers token, so those 2 archers are now dead. I don't think Nick had any.
No, I didn't. This could be a blessing in disguise, because if I can hold off the monsters that are left on the table, you are now down to 0 cards, which means you get a full hand to draw. So there's a good chance there that out of 6 cards you need to draw, we get something to stop that damned warlord.
It's not looking great, but there's still hope. There's a glimmer.
That's all we need right now. It's over to me and Astinus, and I'm going to draw up 4 cards to bring me back up to 6. It's shit. I've drawn a red archer, which is useless, a blue swordsman, which is useless, a green archer, which could serve some purpose if I trade with Al, but he's got nothing to offer. Can I give you a card if you've got nothing to offer in exchange?
I don't think so. It says trade, so it implies that I need to give you something in return.
So yeah, he's useless as well. And a blue swordsman, so it's not looking good. However, my last card is an any color swordsman, which unfortunately in this turn is equally useless.
My brother, I feel that this may be our last night together.
Astinus, I shall hear none of it. We are not dead until we are dead.
This is the last time I send somebody from your damned blue company to bring us some aid. If you don't bring someone of use, don't bother to return at all. I will not fail you, my lord. Leave this to me.
And Astinus sends the blue hero into the discard pile and draws a useless green knight. Oh no, actually, wait, it's not useless.
No, it's not
It's
useless
not
at all.
useless. Actually, it's very useful because I currently have a green knight, and with this one makes it 2, and there is currently a troll on 2 hit points.
Yeah. It's brilliant because that's the trajectory of the last remaining tower. So one less thing we need to worry about at least for the next turn.
Could just about do this. Al needs to draw 6 cards in his next turn. Hopefully there's a barbarian or drive him back there.
Well done, hero. I'm sorry I've doubted you. Knights, this is where we make our last stand. Cut down that damn troll!
The knights charge off, lances at the ready, knowing that the fate of Castle Homage rests for now on their shoulders. All that remains is 1 tower and 1 wall, but they do their duty and slay the damned troll before he gets to any closer to the last remaining tower. That ends the card phase of my turn. It's now time to move the last remaining monsters on the board. Sector 1 sees the warlord move clockwise to now just 1 space from the last tower. The wounded orc in the red knight ring presses on into the swordsman ring of Sector 2. He's just 1 space away from the inner walls of what's left of them. And in Sector 3, the orc that emerged at the edge of the forest sees this as the opportune moment to join the fray, and he charges into the green archer ring. There's only 4 tokens left in the monster bag. I'm gonna draw 2 now, so we could, by some Hail Mary, still pull this off.
It's looking bleak, but not impossible.
From the forests in Sector 6, within the blue sector, an orc warrior emerges and grins at the sight of destruction before him. He has a clear and unobstructed path to that last remaining tower. In Sector 4, a special kind of orc emerges, holding a staff with a crystal ball in his hand. He opens his fist, raises it to the sky, and starts chanting. This emboldens all monsters currently on the board to move 1 ring closer to the castle, or 1 space clockwise if they're in the castle ring. The orc warlord, wounded, sees this as a chance to go into the annals of his kin as their hero that brings down the last remaining tower of the Castle of Homage. He sacrifices his life as the last tower crumbles, and our heroes, Astinus and Gerontius, start to lose their grip. Their feet begin to slide as they frantically try to grab onto anything to stop them falling from the battlements. Their efforts are in vain, as they can only exchange 1 last solemn look.
It's been a good run, brother. But we have reached the finish line.
At least we have not died as old men in our beds, but in the glory of battle.
As they fall from the ramparts, the sounds of the battlefield seem to be swallowed by a heavy oppressive silence. The ground shudders as stones collapse, and the last remaining proud bastion of the castle is reduced to a ruinous heap. Dust and smoke rise into the sky, mingling with the acrid stench of blood and plague. The wind now howls through the shattered remnants of the forest, carrying with it the cries of the vanquished and the cruel laughter of the advancing horde. All is lost.
Damn it! We couldn't keep them at bay.
I think I literally pulled the worst possible
Yeah.
token. I mean, what were the other options that were left? Because there was only 4.
Yeah, there's
Oh, no,
only
the-
2 more there, right?
Oh, actually, there was 3 more.
Alright.
I could have pulled all green monsters move 1, which,
Would have survived that round.
yeah, another goddamn troll. But that would have given us some breathing space.
Yeah.
And a goblin. But we could have
Yeah.
just about made it.
1 more round. We could have gone if it weren't for that token that you pulled. And let's say we did go through to that round. And I had to...
Draw 6 cards. Would you have pulled the barbarian, the tar, or the drive them back?
I would have got a blue swordsman, which was useless. A red swordsman, which could have been useful to kill some orcs, but wouldn't have helped us, ultimately. A blue knight, which again, useless. Mortar, which useless at this point, to be fair. A red swordsman, and another red swordsman. So, no...
You could have discarded. So
True.
let's see if...
So, okay, so I discard a blue swordsman. So, yeah, nothing. Nothing. We would be
Yeah, it would have been
dead
over anyway. So yeah, that concludes today's playthrough of Castle Panic. Not the result we were hoping for.
No, but it was still fun nonetheless. It's a hard game to win, to be fair, because it depends what you pull and when you pull it, as it's apparent can get harder or easier.
And it was looking so good for a brief moment where the board was actually empty and we had, I think, 5 walls and 4 towers still standing.
The good days. Those pulls that I made where I had to pull a token after a token after a token, I think I did, 12 at least, or more.
Yeah, that was probably the beginning of the end.
Yeah, that didn't help at all.
But there you have it, that was our playthrough of Castle Panic. We really hope you enjoyed that as much as we did.
If you liked it and would like us to play the expansion, which I happen to have, but is 10 times harder, so I never play it.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately today's playthrough doesn't bode well for us. But yeah, if you want us to play the expansion, The Wizard's Tower, drop us a comment on Spotify or your podcast player of choice, and we'll add it to our roster in this series where we bring roleplay into your standard tabletop games. If you can't wait a whole week for your next Into the Dungeon fix, make sure you visit our website www.i2td.com, follow the links there to our social media feeds, and of course, as we always say, join our Discord server, pop by and say hello. Don't forget, whilst you're on our website as well, to click that little coffee cup where you can be a part of the stories we tell and shape the adventures we play by making a one-off donation, which will appear as a potion game, or by signing up to our subscription tier where you can donate a potion monthly.
If you cannot subscribe or wish not to, or donate for that matter, worry not, you can still help us out tremendously by leaving a review in any of your podcast players of choice, maybe some stars, some good ratings. Perhaps join YouTube, give us a like there as well, follow us on all our social media, and spread the word. Tell your friends, tell your family about Into the Dungeon if you enjoy listening to us. That is greatly appreciated, so thank you very much if you do any of that.
That brings us on to the end of the episode club.
The last one standing.
Unfortunately, it's not Astinus and... I was going to say Gregorius, that wasn't your name. Gerontius, almost there. It proves to us that you stayed through to the very end of the episode and are worthy of competing for the esteemed title of El Guillo Masvaradar, who could have certainly used the skills and prowess of such a warrior in today's battle. In this section, we give out a password, and you use it in a comment to prove to us that you have the highest stamina, the highest constitution, and could have stayed fighting until the very end as we panicked in the castle.
Yeah.
So, do you have a password for us today, Al?
Yes, I do. Today's password is The Last Stand.
Ooh, no need to explain that one. We look forward to reading your comments. Make sure you do enter them if you decide to play in our Discord server in the channel The Last One Standing in order to be eligible to compete for that title and go down in the annals of El Guillo Masvarada. With all that said and done, there's nothing left but to bid you farewell. So thank you once again, and hope that you join us next week as we delve into the dungeon.